Good evening everyone, I am Sita Yuandiani, NPM 2178 from Group 5. In this video, me and my members would like to present material about criteria for contrast, the phoneme system. There are some points that we will explain, such as minimal pairs and beyond, phonetic similarity and defective distributions, free variation, neutralization, phonology and morphology, rules and constraints, and the last one is phoneme system. And I am as the first speaker will explain about the first and the second points, which are minimal pairs and beyond, and similarity phonetic and defective distributions. Minimal pairs are a pair of words that vary by a single sound. A minimal pairs or close pair consists of two words with sounds that are very similar but have different meanings. It is about the construction of rules stating allophonic distributions. These rules are based on the identification of phonemes, for which we relied on the two fundamental tools of predictability of occurrence and invariance of meaning. If two sounds occur in non-overlapping, predictable sets of contexts, and if substituting one of the other does not make a semantic difference, then those two sounds must necessarily be allophones of a single phoneme. On the other hand, if those two sounds can occur in same environments and producing different words, they belong to different phonemes. This diagnosis is confirmed by the commutation test, which it involves putting different sounds in a particular context. Example for English consonant is given in context at. As you can see, these words have similarity in pronunciation, but they has different meaning because they have one sound different. Like bad and bad. It has two different phonemes, which is b and b. In the vast majority of cases, results in keeping the native speaker's intuitions about which sounds belong together. However, there are some cases where sticking to those tests too rigidly can have quite the opposite consequence. One of the best known and most obvious examples of this kind in English involves h and ng. The minimal pairs shows that h contrasts with a number of English consonant phonemes word initially, but there is no minimal pair for ng. For example, the generalization extrapolated from this is that h appears only before a stressed vowel, as in had, apprehensive, vehicular, but not vehicle, where h appears in the spelling, but there is no h sound, as the stress here falls on the first vowel. On the other hand, ng is not permissible syllable initial. It can appear only at the end of a syllable, either alone as in rang, hanger, or before a velar plosive, either k or g, as in ring, stinker, finger, stronger. This means that h and ng are in complementary distributions. In the normal case, we would expect some realization of every phoneme in a language to appear in every possible environment, initially, medially, and finally in the word, and also before all after other consonants in clusters. There are, however, two types of exception to this sweeping generalization. First, there are the phonotactic constraints of a language which spell out which combination of sounds are possible. In English, only a few three-consonant clusters are permissible, and the first consonant in the sequence must always be S or S. Nasal stops in English can cluster only with oral stop, sharing the same place of articulation, unless the oral stop marks the past tense. Secondly, some phonemes have defective distributions. They are not only restricted in the combination of consonants they can form, but are simply absent from some position in the word. English h and ng both fall into this category since the former is available only syllable initially, and the latter only syllable finally. It is because those defective distributions are mutually exclusive that English h and ng are in complementary distributions. And phonemes with defective distributions like these are relatively rare. Sometimes their defectiveness follows from their historical development, but often defectively distributed phonemes are relatively new arrival. That was my explanation about my materia, and the rest will be explained by my members. Thank you.